Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM Dumpster Fire. Today we are back to watch our girl Courtney Shortney. This is another one of her videos or live streams on Facebook that I have screen recorded because she has her videos set on private so that you can download it. So, got news for you, Courtney. You can still screen record them and it's not that big of a deal. So, I think this is like 50 minutes long or maybe even longer. I ended up screen recording about 35 minutes or so because I couldn't listen to it anymore. It's very hectic, it's very unorganized. The sound is really bad, but I'm gonna do my best to kind of edit it out so that you guys can hear properly. And yeah, we're just gonna see what's happening with Courtney because it's been a while and I do like to cover Kelsey and Courtney in the same week. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you'd like to support my channel. That's a nice free way to do that if you would like. And big shout out to my channel members as always. I really do appreciate you guys. Now let's get into this.
So I know, right? Turn up the sound. But we were chatting about a lot of value that she was giving inside of what her habit stacking has looked like, the way that she has evolved, her schedule, and her growth, and that's like where she currently is versus where she wants to go. Is like she's like letting me know like these are some things that I've been doing for quite some time, and she set these goals for herself and all the things. So I'm really, really proud of her. She's come a long way. Not the first time we've had a coaching call together, but she's just taking a ton of knowledge that she's obtained and put it to use. And so it's really, really exciting. So tell them who you were before you invested into this opportunity. Have you ever tried anything like this? And just give them like a brief, like 90-second, what life looked like.
Absolutely. Hello for everyone out there in internet land. My name is Switzer. I live in Southeast New Mexico. I'm the head of marketing and business development for a credit union. And I'm extremely involved in many board of director positions. So needless to say, fake it till you make it was how I lived my life. When I walked out that door, just behind me, it didn't matter what kind of day I was having. I had to put on the face and make a paycheck and make everyone else's dreams come true within the credit union and grow it and all of those things. And so
Interesting, because that's what they teach in multi-level marketing as well. Like when you start out, usually, and we've seen this on my channel plenty of times before, when you join an MLM, they'll say, well, you're not successful yet, but if you fake it until you make it, basically, like pretend that you have a big downline, pretend that you're earning so much money and people are going to want to join you, you're going to be able to recruit people better. So what's different in an MLM? It's the same shit that you left. Like, okay.
So I was just surviving. I knew I had been previously involved in the health and wellness business and had some success, dropped quite a bit of weight, and I learned a lot of skills I didn't realize that I did. But now, since drinking ketones,
So by what she just said, we can assume that she was in a health and wellness MLM before.
this was the perfect timing. It was the perfect solution to what I needed in my life. And I knew it was going to be hard. I knew things were going to be a struggle, but I'd much rather struggle and try to go after a future that I want than try to just settle for where I was. So that's that. And I was in survival mode. And I finally woke up and I said, you know what? I'm going to finally say yes to me because I say yes to everyone else. I have a really hard time saying no because I'm a recovering people pleaser. And I feel like I should be everywhere all at once to make everyone else happy when truly down in the inside I was not, both with my health and with my finances. So that's what brought me to ketones and this opportunity and the friendships and all of the skills and all of the wonderful things we get to experience with the ketone conversation and business and opportunity and all of the above. So.
Oh my gosh, give her some hearts. I would agree. Krista Ann says, wow, powerful. Are you guys liking the behind the scenes of this coaching call? Yes or yes. So I guess I should make this. I don't need the participants. I can make you a little bit bigger there.
And I also know that, that wasn't perfect.
How exclusive. We get to witness the behind the scenes of this messy, unorganized training that Courtney always gives us the pleasure of watching. This is the first time that I'm reacting to a call where she's actually with someone else. I have heard a little bit of it while I was screen recording, and it gets really messy and unorganized as per usual for Courtney.
And there's a whole lot that you want to cram into, but my brain gets to go.
What, into saying what you want to say? Oh my gosh, listen, every time I say it, it's different. So the whole like being able to just spit it, and then you'll find things that you like about it, and then you'll hear coaching on how to tell your story. And like, you know, before ketones I was this, since drinking and sharing them I was this, and can you shorten it up? Sure, but like, I think you nailed it. And they just literally, I was about to share with you what this it doesn't say a name, but peace be with you. Well, hello there. Said clear thoughts and so well spoken she is. So
well, thank you.
I love that. You talked about transferable skills that you realized that you had from previous, that you realized that you were building someone else's dreams. And I think that that's like, it's funny because let's talk about if it can be misunderstood, it will be. So
I find it funny that they always say this, like when you're working for an employer, you are working for someone else's dream and you're making someone else's dream come true. But isn't it the same in the MLM kind of? Because like you are working and the top leaders are the ones that are getting all the benefits from your hard work. They're earning all the money based on your hard work. So you're still working for someone else's dream because they get to live these luxurious lives and they get to travel and whatnot, speak on the stage on conferences based on your hard work. Your upline is earning money based on your hard work.
So one of the things is that we look for people that elevate us, that help us grow, that help us put better thoughts into our mind. Like we want to be better every single day. Things that make us feel good, things that feel like better to us, right? And we all get to choose what that looks like and define it as what it feels good to us. And so as we start to do that, we start to hear people coach us differently on ways that they started to elevate and grow and find more success and what success looks like for them, etc. And you kind of talked about wanting a better life for yourself and realizing that you were just helping someone else's dreams. And the cool part about this, like, is that it's also okay to want that. And you can also, one of the things that I've found is that some people will be like, oh, they're brainwashing you into thinking it. No, we are actually choosing to brainwash ourselves that way so that we can allow ourselves to want more and to go after more. And I actually wanted to ask you about that, kind of getting into it. I'll ask you about it in a little bit about like your goals and where you're going, because that third one was like, you're kind of like in line with your goals of like where you're currently at and like where you want to grow to is like a stretch and uncomfortable. But then you have this like really, really big goal that kind of looks a little different to me in my opinion. 1 second, 5-year-old. Yes?
That's great.
Okay, go tell Daddy. He's got you. He's got your back. Please shut my door, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Is Caden going down for a nap?
Yeah.
Okay. I love you. Hungry and thirsty. Daddy's got you. Go get some food. There's pancakes. There's self-serve. You know what to do. I didn't say shut my door with you inside of it. You want to stay? Okay. Okay. So if growth and bettering ourselves and all those things is brainwashing ourselves, and I think it's interesting how sometimes people try to make it like it's a bad thing. But you talked about transferable skills. You said survival mode is where you felt like you were, and you weren't satisfied with evolving and growing someone else's. I know don't jump on that. Come on. He's hungry and thirsty, and then he shuts the door, shuts himself inside of here, and says,
"Hey, Mommy, I want to stay in here still."
That's okay. She's fine. He's hungry and thirsty. Okay, so then, and a recovering people pleaser, which I wrote those things down because I think so many people can relate to that. Just knowing that beforehand, also, most of the time your before should take longer than your after. Just so you know. So if you're overthinking that, which I have in the past, the before part of how it felt and the things that you went through, like that will feel like it takes longer because it's like where you were at, and then the moment that you realize, which was also before, that you wanted to make a change, and you covered that perfectly, which isn't even what we were necessarily intending for this coaching call. This girl back here, but I think we get always what we're supposed to get. So, yeah, I saw you pop up and down.
I gotta give credit where credit's due, and Courtney is speaking a lot better in this video than my previous few that we've watched from her. So she seems to be a little bit more collected in this one, or she just has good notes that she knows what she's talking about. But yeah.
1 second, you're cutting out. 1 second.
I can't
even see it. Did you hear me?
Better?
Yeah.
Better?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, I'm frozen. I can see myself when you're live. Okay.
I
I think too, it's hard to say I was in this bad spot and I needed to change because I'm so grateful for my job and I love what I do. So it's hard to be like, well, this sucks completely. Now I'm going to change my life, so.
Yeah, I don't even think that's how it is. I think so good. It's like that's what people think that it is, though.
Yeah. So it's like, well, am I bad mouthing, this career? No, it's just I want more than just this, and so I have to tell myself it's not guilt talking. It's just you want more so that you can really enjoy your job and not be as stressed in normal everyday life and be able to have that cushion and build that and feel good at your job when you walk out the door or whatever that might be for someone. So.
Right. Like, and it's okay, and don't allow it to be, because as we start we're constantly brainwashing ourselves. Let's just be honest, and some of it's not good. That's part of what we're going to go into next, of things that Ashley has done to evolve her schedule and her. Oh, don't make that face. What was that face? Was that about your scheduling?
No. About how we don't talk nice to ourselves.
I was like, you're doing it with the face.
No. About how we
I'll be there right there
tend
after
to
you.
not be nice to ourselves, and we should be the nicest to ourselves, and I'm very guilty of it.
Oh yes, 1000%. We're the hardest on ourselves. Okay, can you guys both get out? Because you distract me because I'll want to help and cough in your elbow, buddy. Please.
Okay. 1 second.
You'll know when I'm done. You'll hear me. I won't be talking as loud. Lincoln.
1 second. I'm squirting something.
Squirting something? Come on, man.
That wasn't me.
Squirting what?
This. Marilyn got it.
Okay, go. Just. I love you so much. I'll give you snuggles afterwards, okay? Pull the door shut. Oh, quit it. I love you. Look at you. You're so strong. That's perfectly fine. You're strong. I'm weak. Every time the teacher said every time his confidence is built, he knows exactly he knows the answer. But when he doesn't have have confidence, which I think just transfers into what we do, right? When he doesn't have confidence, he forgets and he won't do as well. And then that also transfers into authenticity, which is kind of what you were getting into both ways, right? Like you didn't feel authentic in your life. And what is authenticity? Authenticity is when we speak truthful, when we are speaking the truth and we believe what we're saying. So not only are we being truthful and fully, but that fully authentic is that we believe what we are sharing outward. And that's why it's so important for us to speak to ourselves in a way that we want to be spoken to. And instead we speak to ourselves in ways that we would never speak to somebody else. And like you said, a recovering people pleaser, Ashley, you would absolutely, without a doubt, never talk trash. Being a people pleaser, like recovering, but like you wouldn't do that. So I love that. All right, so we were talking about back to what we were sharing, which I think it's extremely important to note that Ashley has put herself even before on a scale of 1 to 10 in her business, where she invested. Now, did you grab the max or the mega pack?
The max pack.
The max pack. So she invested $500, more than that, but a $500 kit plus tax and shipping and then whatever else she bought extra. But that's the kit that she went with on her business. And so when you invest in something, you're more likely to actually show up for it. Now, not everyone does. Not everyone's the same, which is why they kind of feel like, we can't make you work your business. I'm not her boss. I don't get to make her show up. If I text her, she can ignore me. Like, I can't do shit for her, okay? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Can't make her do anything. I can do things for her, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. Like, I can't make her do it. All right. That sounded terrible. That was a terrible way to speak about myself. What am I even saying here? Okay. Okay. But I mean, obviously, clearly I've impacted, okay? Because look at these notes that I've taken from her. Okay, I took these notes for things that she has implemented, which she has put herself on level of engagement. over the last 90 days, which she filled this out a little bit earlier, is at an 8. And I think that's extremely accurate. And I don't, and maybe a little hard on herself, but maybe also, I mean, pretty accurate. And like giving herself 20% to grow. I think I would always leave myself, unless I feel like I am putting myself every single day, nonstop travel, whatever, you know, like unless I was doing that, I might put myself at a 10, but even when you're there, you still feel like you have room to grow. So, she was talking about getting up she set herself a goal to get up at 4 a.m. and then she stuck to it. She's been doing it for, well over 6 months now. Which is super.
I could never. Jeez, imagine being awake from 4 a.m. That's way too early for me. But also, I mean, fine. If that suits you, you do you. But I don't like the implication here that if you start getting up early, you're going to be more successful or things like that. It doesn't have to mean anything. Like some people are just not productive in the morning and it doesn't matter how early they get up at. With the MLM business, with the Pruvit business, it's just really useless to be talking about that because in Pruvit, the business model, and all MLMs actually, the business model is set up so that the majority of people are going to fail. It really doesn't matter how early you get up at, how much you work, how many hours a day you put in, you're most likely never gonna be successful. So
cool. She was previously in Gold Accelerator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And silver. I was in both.
Okay, Gold and Silver with Jessie Lee. From the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from the beginning.
Yep.
So not to say this isn't just coaching from me, okay, but it's been reiterated because when you're coached and then you're like all from the same, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So same mentor, same. And so we would constantly talk about habit stacking and talk about better habits and healthier habits and really just like accountability and making sure that you're actually setting yourself to higher standards and develop personal development and better usage of your cell phone time and better usage of like, because you're constantly having it in your hand and scheduling yourself and routines and am I missing anything? I mean like, and then not only habit stacking, but efficiency in your habits. And so we're going to dive into that, which I think is super cool, because you cut out keep going. No. You cut out a ton of wasted time. So share with us a little bit about how you did that, starting with your 4 a.m. wake up time.
Okay. So I very much consider this my job. And so if I've committed to something, I'm like, I'm showing up. Like you put it in a calendar, you write it down. It doesn't matter what it takes. Like you write it down. And
see, she said she considers it her job, which to me it says she's not making any profit, but she wants to and she's dedicated and she thinks she can be successful one day. So she's considering it a job. I would never say that I consider my freelance video editing a job. It is a job. It's what I do. I get paid for it. I get profit from doing it. So interesting choice of words.
You make it happen. Now, what I really love and have recognized and learned is that time blocking and not taking the guilt of something into other time. So being able to really be like, oh, I have this much time to do this. I can absolutely do that. So I've been getting up in the morning, and a little hack for those of you, you might think this is weird and crazy, but it
Is Courtney blocking people in the comment section while this lady is talking?
also has worked the best for me. I sleep in my workout clothes because...
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yes. I don't have to get up and put on cold leggings. Like, I can just roll out of bed and put some deodorant on, brush my teeth, and go to the gym. And it's not a beauty contest at the gym. So if somebody's going to be like, well, you're not pretty enough.
So we talked about this.
You know what? Yeah.
Like your nighttime habits, set up yourself for success in the morning. And she's going quickly because she knows this. She's had it ingrained in her brain. And you forget how good you really are and the value you have to provide. Because there's so much in our brain that we start to compress because it's just it's a part of the process. We don't even realize that we're doing it. And so the reason she's done that is because we've been told the nighttime is set up for your success. So I've even talked about this with my kids. This doesn't work for everyone. Some people, it works out better for them if they have their, like, I don't know, get a towel warmer. But if you have your clothes that you're going to wear in the morning, first thing in the morning, if it's your workout clothes, set them there because it removes the resistance of doing the healthy habit and following through with it. So you wake up in the morning, your morning routine, your nighttime, I set you up for success. For the morning of seeing your workout clothes, your shoes are right there, you put them on. Now, Ashley's like, listen, I don't want to put on cold leggings is her reason. Another thing is like, I need to roll out of bed because it's hard enough for me to get up. So if I have less steps in the morning of, I got to make my drink, I got to get myself dressed, I got to do that. No, Ashley's like, I'm going to roll out of bed, put my shoes on that are at my feet, go to the bathroom. Then I'm going to go bathroom, brush my teeth, go pee, make my ketones, walk out the door, go to the gym. Okay, I love it. So that is what we call habit stacking for the question that was asked. Habit stacking is where she has now stacked the habit.
Again, that's all fine, and like, you do whatever works for you. It's great that she found a way that keeps her motivated to go to the gym in the morning. But then again, on the other side, this has nothing to do with the MLM biz, with the Pruvit business. It doesn't guarantee that she's gonna be any more successful in the MLM. So I guess I'm just a little bit confused. I mean, I'm not confused. I know why they're doing what they're doing, but in reality, it's useless for most of the people in MLMs because they're never gonna make any profit. It doesn't matter how good their morning routine is or anything like that.
Of falling asleep in her workout clothes, or you would have the workout clothes, whereas like your habit stacking of, I wake up, I immediately do this. That's stacking the habit of waking up with something else. For her, it's putting on her shoes, then bathroom, then brushing teeth, etc. Right? So, and she has more examples of that. So give us kind of like, now you have also stacked habits at the gym. I think this is probably the most powerful example of it, is that when you go to the gym, since building consistent actions, right? Not only does she have more confidence and certainty in what she's doing, she attracted an accountability partner to herself. Now, was this you reaching out? Was it like, where was that? And then kind of walk us into the things that you do at the gym.
Yeah. So a good friend of mine became an accountability partner, and I had posted on Snapchat. I was just like, maybe I was taking a picture of my feet on the treadmill, or maybe taking a picture. And she's like, oh, you're in the gym? She's like, I find it really hard. She has a kiddo and a husband that works. She goes, I can't get a good workout in when I have to take him to daycare at the gym. You want to go in the mornings? Yes, I actually really love the morning because I'm learning that I love the morning. And so she and I have been accountable to each other and shown up. And what I do is I get there and I know that I will fall down the social media rabbit hole of doom. And so if I have it on my DMOs to go in and warm up my feed and go in and engage be social on social, right? That's a thing we have to do.
Right.
In order to grow our businesses and for us to be seen. I can get on the treadmill, and I'm not at like a crazy speed or an incline or anything, but I also, here's another hack that I do. I cover up all the timers so that I'm not distracted by the numbers. And so I'll just get in my phone, all my notifications are off anyway because I would technically be sleeping.
Right.
And so I just get in my phone and I work, and then she gets there, we work out together, so I get a good solid workout in, and I'm not torn between,
Oh, she got kicked off. Dang it. Okay, so she was just talking about how when she gets to the gym and she's waiting on her friend, she is also getting on the treadmill to warm her body up, or she's stretching. And depending on which thing she starts her day with, or starts her workout with, starts her gym activity while she's waiting on her friend to get there, she is doing a different type of habit stacked onto it. And the question is, like, how often do you add a new habit to stack? She's in the country. She's like 2.5 hours away from a major airport, so she's trying to get her internet going here. So depending on how often you're adding new habits, it's really just based on you. Don't overwhelm yourself. And what I mean is, like, just do what you feel you can do. Are you leaving your camera off to stay on better? That might work.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why it keeps bumping me out, but
Your sound is better.
I don't know why. I have my own Wi-Fi. Okay.
So I was just letting him know, like, yeah, you're good, I think. You can turn your camera off for a second, too.
Okay.
I think it might help.
Okay, we'll see if that's better. Okay.
So she, like, is really creating more efficiency for herself, and so while she's on the treadmill, she doesn't need to look at the time, so she covers them up, throws a towel on it, whatever. Then she's working her business, which is a stacked habit of moving her body at the gym. She's warming up. And she's also getting useful time. Like, she knows exactly the steps. She knows exactly the steps that she's doing to work her business. So she has, like, the DMOs. And she even said, like, so that she's not having them on her phone. She does have them now on a paper. So she's, like, trying to kind of, we were just talking about that. She has, like, she's going to kind of implement her system now because she's been doing it. She's created consistent action over doing these things, that as it becomes a habit to a.m. Step 1. Now she's going to the gym at 4 a.m. Now, throughout that time, she's creating a routine inside of being at the gym. And then she's like, oh, you know what? What do you do first? Warm up, you stretch. So then she's like, well, while I warm up, I may as well do another activity. I have to personally develop. I have to work my business. So I'm going to get consistent focused action on my business, or I'm going to personally develop, or whatever. So then she's like, if I'm doing something that I shouldn't have my phone in my hand, now she's recording it and getting content for it. So that's another way. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is, like, the knowing exactly what she's doing while she's walking. She says she does the 3-2-1 method that I talk about, which is going and engaging on people's content that, like, go.
That is so fake, and it sounds exhausting. Like, whenever they start talking about social media and engaging with people and, like, leaving comments and likes on their stuff, it just sounds so exhausting. It's also a very quick way of getting yourself blocked, because there's a certain amount of comments and follows and DMs that you can send on all social media. So if you're doing that massively, you are gonna get marked as spam or as a bot, so you can get blocked very, very quickly.
Be social on social media, like she was sharing. So that's the part that she does while she's walking, is people are engaging on her, so she's going to go to their page and engage on theirs. If they're a new follower, she's going to 3-2-1 them. She's gonna find people that are engaging here that she's not connected to and 3-2-1 them, which we're not going to go into that right now. So I love all of that. And let's get back to you. So
Okay.
I thank you for doing that. I know that was super valuable. I just wanted to say, like, you have done so much. I think this is part of my favorite part about our community, is that our mission is to be 1% better every single day. We're on a mission to help others become 1% better every single day. And if, like, from the time that you started interacting and engaging and committing and being consistent in the community, above all, I've seen it just completely transform you. And it's like, you know, when you look at, because we have, which we're not going to make any income claims or talk dollar amounts, because although we would love to be able to talk about that with you inside of our company, it's just not something.
We're not gonna make any income claims because we're not allowed to, but we would love to make all the income claims. But they usually do it anyway, even though they say, I don't want to make any claims, but then they proceed to make claims. So we'll see how this one's gonna go.
Something that FTC wants us to do. So I think that could be changing. I'm not really sure. But, you know, even if you could make a few $100s, or you can hit bonuses that can pay out an average of, you know, an extra $500 a month, or et cetera, et cetera. Like those are things that we can't talk about. There's opportunities, and you can make a few $100s upwards to a few $1,000s if you choose to. With that aside, making the $500 back, which I do have your next future goals, which we will talk about. Do you feel like, okay, I made the $500 investment, I've made a little bit of money back every single month, like, overall, everything that you know that you have, like, the value that you've put in versus the value you've gotten out, do you feel like it's equally value, more valuable, less valuable? Like, how do you feel about the effort that you put in versus what you've gotten back out?
Well, I think that it's
I think the silence speaks there. She has to think about this very hard because she's probably not profiting yet at all. So she has to think of something else to say.
You can't put a price on what value it truly is. Because if you're going to be 1% every single day, 1% better every single day, you can't put a price on that. Monetarily, yes, I plan to grow this and be able to. I was talking to someone the other day talking about monetary goals, and
I'm excited to talk about
that's
that.
not possible.
I love yours.
That's not possible. Like, so yes, do I wish I was making more monetarily? Yes, but that's why I'm in it every single day, and I have to figure out what I need to be.
I bet she's not making anything, a profit at least. And the fact that Courtney even asked her this question, knowing that she's not earning anything, is kind of weird to me. Because, I mean, you created this whole awkward situation now where she has to think of a good response to it.
Better at in order to grow that, because I know the possibility is here, and that's why I felt so confident in my decision in joining Pruvit, because I knew that possibility was there. I knew that if I put my head down and went to work, which is not something that is abnormal to me, I've always been that way, that it will show up. It might not be on my timing, but it'll show up, and it'll be for the right people at the right time. And
I agree. I always want it faster. I agree. And I think that when I take
a look at the income disclosure statement. Lady, if you're watching this and if you don't know, you haven't seen it, just take a look at it. The majority of people are never profiting, and neither will you. The quicker you get out of this MLM, the better for you financially, and you're gonna save yourself some time, and you can do something else that's actually gonna pay you for your work and efforts. That's just my opinion anyway.
What success is defined, I feel like you have proven to just show success inside of what you're doing, and I feel like your efforts have more than like the value that you've put in versus what you've gotten back. I think it's like you said, it's priceless, it's invaluable. But when you look at it, one day that is going to teeter. It's like one day we're kind of like feel like we're like, man, I know my value is so high, and I am getting paid like I'm over here scrubbing toilets for the Fortune billion-dollar company in comparison to like your capabilities, right? Like that's why I'm saying it like that. Not that scrubbing toilets, like you actually get paid really well to do that. So, but in the grand scheme of what is capable. And so, I had a friend actually respond. She's like, you couldn't afford me. And I was talking about my cleaner, and I was like, I used to clean houses too. And like my mom and my grandma had a business of it at different points. Like, I didn't present that as well as I intended to in my story, because I agree. You should get paid a lot for doing that. But yeah,
I also, when you think about, like, for example, selling trials, like,
I love how she kind of shaded those kind of jobs. Like if you're scrubbing toilets for a company, or like, yeah, you get paid well, but you can do so much better. This other lady is in this MLM. She's in Pruvit, and she's like working a better job. Like she's working from home. She's cold messaging people, trying to recruit, trying to sell ketones. She's not making any profit. You're better off scrubbing toilets and getting paid for it than being in Pruvit, working for free and not profiting, not getting any paychecks and not getting any money. What is this shade when literally everything is better than an MLM? At least you get paid for scrubbing toilets.
To have not the obstacle, but to be like, how am I gonna do this? Like, how am I gonna make this work? Like, how am I gonna think
when you're learning something new?
Yeah, I've got to figure it out. Like, there's not an alternative. Like, this is what I have to do. And so I think putting that pressure on myself, if I can master a few of those other things, and I've kind of recognized that being bolder with what we've got and having more conversations and closing are my three things that I definitely wrote down that I definitely want to work on. Putting more emphasis on, rather than doing maybe the easy things, and doing more of the closing pieces and getting better at that skill set. I know that just in thinking about our call today, like what would if I had to pick out two things or three things, those would be my things. So, just bearing down and figuring out how to make that work. So
I remember talking to you about that, but it's not in here. Being bold. Where did you write that? Did we just talk?
Put it down. Surprise.
No, but I swear I read that from you somewhere. You know what, though? I feel like that is something that I has been like a common thing in my face, too, and my memory's not... We know where that's at right now. So, I love that. Being bold. Can you repeat those to me again?
Yes, being bold in what we have, having more conversations, I guess more confident conversations for me, because I've always been, the super nice person, like, oh, you'll get around to me when you can.
Yep.
Being more bold and moving that conversation forward and then closing that actual conversation.
Love that. Oh, okay. So, those three things combined together. Being bold in itself, but also being bold inside of not only having more conversations, but moving the conversation forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes, I love that. And I was kind of like, it makes a lot of sense in connecting a lot of the things the different things I was reading inside of your form. Let me look at this really quick again. I love it so much because your initial reasons for starting, you didn't talk about this part per se. You did, but it was kind of like what you said. It's like, it's not perfect of how I would say it. Like, I think at times you would add this in, but it depends on what you're sharing and who you're sharing it to. But you wrote here, the excitement of the possibilities of this business to get my health in check. And you have done so much, the consistent action of even just getting to the gym at 4 a.m. Like, they even have studies of people that at least get to the parking lot of the gym. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that you've been so consistent doing that is just so powerful. So I'm glad that you put that as a highlight, that you're celebrating yourself for that. Congratulations. That's massive. Joshua's been getting up at 4 a.m. and I mean, like, it's dark as hell at 4 a.m. Okay, and it's dark for hours at this time of year.
Hours. For
you to do that during the winter season, and not just in a physical sense, but also in a economical sense as well, like of the life of what we're living. It's like a winter season overall, right around us. Maybe not everyone individually is experiencing that. And so I love that you did that. And just like that, what is the current average Pruvit income over the last 3 months? It's just an awareness, which I think is so valuable to have as well. And then knowing where you want to go, and then how do you close that gap? And your your commitment to the length of time and just being here for the long haul, and knowing that like this is the vehicle that you want to utilize for getting yourself out of debt and growing your income in a team that
joining an MLM when you already have debt it's probably one of the worst financial decisions that you can do for yourself. That's just heartbreaking.
Which I love that goal too. Like even setting a financial goal for the organization, your future as well. Oh, things that you're grateful for, which I agree with. I love those things. Just reminding you that you do have structure. I was curious, and that you do trust yourself. I love that. You put that you are grateful for the stress, and and the noise that you just made. I would love for you to just kind of share in your own words, because I love that. I learned a long time ago that it's not about bad stress. There's good stress too. So tell me share from your perspective. I'm curious to hear it from you.
Let me think about it. So I think the stress.
Oh, here, I'll reread it for you as well if you'd like.
It comes back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When thinking about your Pruvit business, what are 3 things you are grateful for now? And you answered the structure, the stress, and I'm grateful I trusted myself to start. 3 things that you're grateful for.
I think the stress, because I've settled for a lot of things in my life, because I've worked hard and I have a great job and I have, a wonderful family, and I've always wanted more deep down. And I think about, if I didn't have the stress, I wouldn't do anything. It's living in that comfort, you know. I'm so grateful because I have a roof over my head. I have I have a lot of things to be grateful for. But in order to get to that next level, there has to be some stress. And is it hard? Yes. But living in maybe a body that I'm not completely happy with, and a financial situation I'm not happy with, that's got to move me. So it's got to be a big stressor to move me in the right direction. And so I'm just like, I just take a deep breath and I just trust. And it's going to happen because I've seen it happen within the community, and I know that it's possible. It's just a matter of taking a deep breath and saying a prayer about it and saying, okay.
I was waiting for you saying, like, faith in God. Like, that's clearly what is pushing you forward, and knowing that stress is a sign of that you're out of your comfort zone.
Well, and, we have more coming up, and I booked the flights because I knew, like, I don't want to go into that trip having the debt of that flight. So I knew, okay, you've got to move. You've got to make this happen before I ever...
What can I pay for?
So,
what are the things I can pay for ahead of time? Well, the hotel has to be paid for the weekend that you're there. So it's like, what can I pay for beforehand? I can pay for my ticket, and I can pay for the flight, and then the hotel is the only thing I have to worry about the week of. And my food.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, like, it's that stress. Like, you have to make this happen. What are you going to say no to? And that's going to give you the strength to say no to the dinner with friends, even though, yeah, it would be fun to go to dinner with the friends. Like, I have this as a priority, and I've never put myself first. So having that stress of that makes me sick.
This is just sad. Like, you're giving up things that are actually, like, good for you and that you enjoy just to be able to attend an event or do whatever involved in the Pruvit business. Like, what good is Pruvit business giving you? It's not giving you any profit, that's for sure. You're working for free. Yeah, it may have other good benefits like community or whatever, but how many of those people that you're currently friends in that are in Pruvit would keep talking to you if you left or if you stopped working your business? To me, they're transactional friendships in most cases, and it's still not worth all the work and effort and money that you're putting in to prove it when you're not making any profit back.
It makes me stronger in other areas. And so, yes, is it hard? But it's even harder to say, oh my God, when I'm sitting on that plane, like, how am I going to make this work? I'd much rather go over and not have that stress. And that's just an example of it. But the stress causes me to say no.
I think it makes a lot of sense because it's an interesting thought of, like, continuing education inside of not only your business but for yourself, and it to help evolve your belief, to help evolve your belief in you, belief in the profession, belief in the products that we're using. You have faith and trust in the overall timeline of things, but also so often we kind of get wrapped up in, I've spent this and I've spent that and I've spent this and I've spent that, but forgetting about the overall, like, I'm also becoming a better person. And when was I ever going to events to help benefit me as a person? Kiss? Is that what you want? You smell like syrup.
That's because I did.
Oh, because you eat syrup? You smell so good. And it's like,
Thanks.
but if we can be smart about the money that we do need to invest, that seems like it's just coming from our business, but we know in reality, once you go to one event and you actually experience it and immerse yourself in it, you know whether or not you want to invest it in the future. If it's worth your time or the value that it brings you. But once you go to one, it's like you can't express that to somebody else. It's an experience you can't. Go see if Daddy, there's some oils for you to take to help. Oh, I love your nails. Wow. Vibrant. Red. So I love that. It's the commitment of the run in your business that's allowing you to set boundaries, distractions. In a sense, it doesn't mean that you don't love doing them. It's just a distraction for, our priorities are never in conflict. And currently your priority of this, that, or the other is like, okay, well, what do I want to choose and what is my focus currently? So I love that. I'm so proud of you. What are some... You're welcome. I see you know, you do have, like the last thing that we talked about, that's what it was. Our last coaching call, I wrote this down. I wrote down the bold thing. That's what happened.
She wrote it down, and the next minute and a half, she's gonna keep trying to find it, and she won't find it. So this is a spoiler alert. If you're sick and you want to tap out, just tap out at this point, because the last minute, absolutely nothing happens, and that was the point where I was like, okay, I'm done pre-recording.
Happened. That's where it was. Listen, I have. Did my phone update over here? I'm like, did I type it or did? 1 second. Let me type your name in my notes section. If I wrote it, we're never gonna find it. So.
Oh, same. I have a bazillion notebooks.
I'm like, it could be in this one. It might not. I'll get back to you after, so we don't have to like allow me to do what I did before with fixing the Zoom. I might have written it down in the notebook. I think actually in this one here, from our last coaching call. But I had you watch something, didn't I? You were having conversations. Was the last thing I was like, okay, well, didn't we talk about that in person? And then you did it. Was that you? Was that not you about having conversations in person?
I don't know.
As an assignment. Well, poo.
I remember.
I don't know where your notes are.
Yeah, well, that was the point where I gave up. This wasn't as messy as Courtney usually is. I will give her that. I will give her credit. Her sentences were a lot better constructed, and her train of thought wasn't that bad. But yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna wrap that up here. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Was it long and painful? I think we've had a lot worse, but let me know down below what you thought about this. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. You're a trooper. I really do appreciate that. And don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you'd like to support my channel in a nice free way. As always, big shout out to my channel members, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.